Joining us right now is a Pro Football Hall of Famer. We love this guy. One of the greats of all time. Joining us here on the Rich Eisen Show in advance of well, I guess not in advance. There's a new oral rehydration drink mix from his company called Primitive. Joining us right here on the Rich Eisen Show is Calvin Johnson. How are you, Calvin Johnson?
Doing great, Rich. Thanks for having me, man.
Always. You know that. You know that. When I saw you in Canton last year, I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it whenever you want. And now's the whenever here we are together. Who was the first one, Calvin, to call you Megatron? Who's that?
Roy Williams. Yeah.
Give me that moment, please. When did that happen?
We were at some practice, but it was just after the first Transformers movie came out.
Okay.
You know, so he just started. And it didn't really pick up till my second year, but he was calling me that my whole rookie year, and I guess he must have mentioned it to the right folks, and then it just caught on and took off from there.
And so, I don't know, were you fully aware of the Transformer as well, who he was referring to at the time, or did you?
Yeah, I knew Transformers. It's just he's the bad guy, but it was okay. I twisted it up. And I was like, okay, I could be the bad guy to the defense all day.
Okay. Have you ever transformed into a machine ever? At any point in time in your life? Calvin, that's never happened, right? You've never really.
No, thank God.
Okay, very good. That's very good. So, you're cool. Like when did you have to look up Megatron after he called you that and go, okay, I like it, or no? You're good. You're fine with that.
I just rolled with it. It was just wrong. It was perfect. It was a great nickname. Like I say, it was the bad guy, but I was able to make that work.
You sure did. You sure did. What did you think, Calvin Johnson of Super Bowl 57? What'd you think of the game?
Man, what a great game! What a great game. I hate that, I mean, obviously the Chiefs, obviously I guess I'm, showing who I went for, but I hate that the Zebras got in the way there at the end on that last little wheel route that Juju ran there at the end. He didn't even want a flag. He wasn't even looking for a flag at the end of it, but I hate that they got in the way of that. But it was a heck of a game. I mean, Mahomes, Kelsey, just that whole team, Pacheco, I probably mispronounced that name. But
no, Pacheco, you got it.
So hard.
You got it.
And he ran the ball hard. That was good to see. That was a great game.
So, walk me through that body language of Juju, because I thought the same thing, too. He was just ready to go back to the bench, right?
Yep. I mean, for a receiver, when you get that contact within that first 5 yards, you don't think nothing of it. Whether they're grabbing you, grabbing you inside the shoulder pad, maybe they grab your face mask. You just thinking, okay, they got 5 yards to harass me. So he got bumped and all that happened. It seemed like within that 5 yards, even though that change of direction, I mean, it's just incidental contact there. But, I mean, at the end of the route, you just see him look for a flag. You see him like, oh, it's overthrown. That's why I was like, I thought that should have been a factor. It was like the ball. He wasn't going to catch it even if he wasn't bumped. That the ball hit the ground like at least, near close to 10 yards in front of him, so he wasn't going to catch that ball. So, it's just frustrating to see that. But, I was going for my boys, the Eagles. I got a couple old teammates over there, so I was pulling for them.
Okay. Well, who are your old teammates off the top? I can't connect the tissues.
Darius Slay's over there, and Dominican Sue's over there, and then our old strength coach, Ted Rath. All those guys are over there. It might be somebody else, but those are the ones off top.
So that's why you were pulling for the Eagles on Sunday night.
I mean, honestly, I really like Jalen Hurts. I mean, I've been a big fan of Jalen Hurts ever since he was at Alabama. The adversity that he went through there at Alabama, when he got benched right, in the championship game for Tua, he came through and won. He transferred. He had success there. So everywhere I'm starting to see a little trend that, okay, this guy's just going to have success everywhere he goes. Obviously, he had a rough year last year, but to see him bounce back this year, is what, I've come to expect from watching him over the years. So I was excited to see him play as well as he did. Big A.J. Brown fan. I love the SEC. I watch SEC football more than I watch anything else. So A.J. Brown, Devontae, love seeing those guys have success.
Yeah, I mean, I love what Jalen Hurts has become. I can't get enough of it, truly. And he could have been the MVP, no question about it, without a doubt,
sure,
of Super Bowl 57. And so, but let's linger on A.J. Brown a little bit, because I would proffer to say he would model his game after yours best he can. What do you see in him that you might have seen in yourself, Calvin? A little bit here.
I love the physicality. I mean, he has the ability probably to get a little bit more yak than I did. I love his ability to get yak, and I just love it when guys use their hands. You know, that touchdown catch that he had where he had to extend. I love to see that extension and the use of hands and just catching the ball securely like that, man. And just more than anything, his physicality. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, that grab, we're showing it on the screen right here where Hurts put the ball in a spot where no one from Kansas City could get it. The only one who could get it was Brown, and he trusted his guy to get it, and he did. It was incredible.
Yes, sir.
I got out of my chair at the game when that happened. That was unreal. That was truly unbelievable.
Beautiful. And then also
say it again. Sorry.
No. I was loving when they showed the review from behind the quarterback because, like you say, Jalen threw to a spot. You could see where that spot was in that left corner of that end zone. He dropped it right. He dropped a dime.
What about the idea that Brown and Devontae Smith will enter next year as the best receiver tandem in the league? And I know who's there in Miami. But what do you think of that notion, Calvin?
Yeah, I mean, I know who's there. You got Tariq and Waddle there in Miami, two potential number ones. I mean, maybe number ones. I'm not, I think they have the playmaking abilities, but I think you got two definite number one receivers here in Philly. And in Devontae, if both of those guys were on the same team, and you would know who. I think it'd be obvious who the number one receiver is. Obviously, where they are now, I think, maybe it's Big Batman or Strong Batman, whatever they call him. But AJ might be the actual number one there. But, man, it's like I say, you pick your poison. You can't, if you want a double one, you still got another Pro Bowler on the other side of the field that's going to make plays.
Pro Football Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson here on the Rich Eisen Show. You got a good Darrelle Revis story? You guys are going to share a bus room together. You got anything for me on that front, Calvin? What do you got?
Man, I just wish I wish I would have played Darrelle more because I never had a chance really to get off on him.
You were on the island? Did he catch you on the island? Were you stranded on the island, Calvin?
Yeah, he got me on the island. Oh, yeah, he got me on the island. It was like probably my rookie year we might have played them or my second year we played them. And I was pissed because I feel like I didn't get enough looks that game. But, I was a statistic. I definitely was.
What made him so good, Calvin? What do you think?
I love. I mean, I didn't love it, but I mean the way he played his press. I don't know if it was just on me, but it really wasn't on me. He played a assault like a catch technique. He wasn't really the guy that's going to try to quick jam you all the time. Maybe if you pissed him off, he might try to get you. But he played a nice little soft bell catch press technique, which is tough for a receiver because at the line of scrimmage, you see him like 3 yards off of you. You don't know if he's going to try to, engage or whatnot. So you're giving him some moves right there, and all the time you're giving him moves at the line of scrimmage, and he's just taking a couple steps back. So then you're making these moves, and then you still got to go to get to him and make another move to get to your route. So that was a great technique as far as it really threw off timing. When you gotta make your move at the line of scrimmage, taking time, and then you got to make another one. And he's gonna bump you and ride you because he's big and strong. So it was tough. The guy has long arms, and he played the hell out of that technique, and he gave helped him stay on top of the receiver.
And now this is going to be your, I guess, third full year being a Hall of Famer. You inducted in 2021, and now you're seeing these guys join you in Canton immortality, with DeMarcus Ware and Joe Thomas, contemporaries of yours. Got Rondé Barber. I don't know if you have any stories with him. I don't know how many times you crossed paths with Rondé, Calvin. A few times, I imagine.
I played Rondé a couple times when in Tampa. I always hated playing that cover too. But that was a situation. I was like, hey, Matthew, you just got to throw it up, man. I'm like a foot taller than Rondé. Like, come on.
And did he do that? Did Matthew do that?
We had a lot of success.
Okay. Do you remind these guys when they show up in Canton about the success? I mean, how much competition still exists?
You know what? I try not to. I don't talk because then it's going to be somebody else that's going to be coming back with something that they can say, and I'm like, damn, like trump card, like.
Okay, you never know.
But it's just like a respect thing. Out of anything that from what I've seen, like we share our stories, but guys, you don't really see guys, talking down or talking to each other. They'll remember and talk about the plays that happen, like, hey, this happened, but there's just riding. That's why I can appreciate it. It's strictly professional, just enjoying the moments of the game that it really made the game. what it is today.
Calvin Johnson, Pro Football Hall of Famer, 4-time All-Pro wide receiver here on the Rich Eisen Show. What's going on with your business? I will now give you the floor. What do you got for me? What's going on with you?
Exciting times, man. Obviously, we have our cannabis brand. We got a vertical, retail, cultivation and processing there, but we're expanding our vision. Not expanding our vision, but sticking to our vision and being innovative in the space. We really want to, obviously we're advocates for the cannabis industry, but being innovative is a key part of our mission and our vision and what we're trying to do here in this industry, and that's bring new products to light, because cannabis is, and really highlight the healing powers of the plant, because, I think that the taboo of cannabis has set us back so far at being Schedule I, not being able to really do the research and the things that we need to do to understand the healing powers of this plant. Being innovative in this space, is crucial to kind of push the ball forward so that the public can really understand some of the things that cannabis can do to really help enact a better quality of life.
And so what's the transdermal topical cream? What is this from Primitive?
So, our first two SKUs that we're coming out with, you mentioned one earlier, the ORS, the oral rehydration solution. You think, the liquid IV elements of the world, but, we're adding cannabis to those electrolytes as well. But then we have the transdermal topical cream. These are things that we use as professional athletes. We're always trying to find the newest and the best rehydration solutions that has multiple functions within your body, that help, build upon that quality of life. So that was why we came out with the rehydration solution. And then the topical, post workout, I was using topicals, whether it was warming up my joints, to kind of, get you lubricated and going, or to help with the pain and inflammation. But we have cannabinoids that we're adding to, like I say, both of these SKUs that have been known to help with inflammation, everyday inflammation and pain. So it's exciting to be coming out with things that we use while we're playing, things that we use today, and to be able to add a nice little twist to it by adding cannabinnoids.
How's the reaction from sports leagues about this, Calvin? What are you hearing when you go to sports leagues?
That's essentially where we want to get to with this. That's what I think we positioned our brand in a clean, elevated way, a wellness brand. Even have the ability to go after the healthcare market because of the cleanliness of our brand. People always ask us, why did you call it Primitive though? Why is it spelled like that? It's spelled like that just for the originality, but we call ourselves Primitive because when you think about it, for millennia, people have used cannabis as a healing agent. So by nature or even by definition, cannabis is primitive. So, that's why we call ourselves that. And we truly believe that we're doing good work by elevating this community and highlighting these new potential products that are going to be great for quality of life for the masses.
A few more minutes left here with Calvin Johnson, Pro Football Hall of Famer. A couple of questions for you about the current day and the future. Do you have any sense of what Matthew Stafford's next move is going to be? Staying put? A lot of talk about how he sat out this large part of last season with an injury that's quite frightening when you hear about it. What do you think, Calvin?
Yeah, I haven't talked to Matthew probably in a couple of weeks or whatnot, but we weren't talking football. But I feel like maybe I asked him a while ago, is he still coming back or something like that. I think Matthew's, obviously, I think he made that statement too publicly that he was coming back. And I took that as them holding him out as, I don't know what his contract situation is, if he's up or if he's still there or whatnot, but I took that as them just sitting him out because they want to make sure that he's going to be, in good place to start the next season.
So that's the general sense. It's just like, hey, Kupp was out and Aaron Donald was out, and you might as well make sure he doesn't get more significantly hurt in action that clearly wasn't going to lead to a playoff spot. Is what you're saying? Then
you would have been dogged if he got hurt while you don't have a shot, and then he gets hurt. Now you're getting dogged by everybody for even having him on the field.
And in terms of dogging people, looked like the Lions were doing that to anyone in front of them at the end of the season, Calvin, right?
Man, it was exciting. It was an exciting time here in Detroit. Everybody was starting there and halfway through the season, like, oh, we're out of the playoffs. They have no hopes to make the playoffs, and then all of a sudden they went on pulled out I don't know how many games they won in the second half, maybe at least 6 games in the second half of the season. So it was exciting football, to say the least, because, like I said, I know Dan, played with Dan, know he's a soldier, and you can see the guys are buying in. The guys are believing, they're following through, and they're getting better players. And I think that the end of this season is just going to help them out, and obviously free agency this year, hopefully. So yeah, I fully expect them to have a playoff push.
I do too. I mean, I thought he vastly improved as a coach. I thought he would, if the first half of the season went any better, obviously starting off against the eventual defending NFC champs wasn't easy, but they put up a ton of points, against the Eagles, and they unfortunately didn't make it because of what happened in that game where they put up a ton of points against Seattle. If the defense had shown up in the first half of the season that we saw in the second half of the season with Aaron Glenn, who deserves looks as an HC, Dan could have been coach of the year type material this past
100%.
year.
100%. And they were close to some of those games. They just weren't finishing. They just weren't able to finish, and then something clicked halfway through, and they turned it up.
All right, Calvin. Thanks for the time. Always great to chat with you. Congrats on everything going on with your business, and if there's anything I can do to be part or help, you just let me know.
Let me give a shout out to primitiveperformance.com and primitivegroup.com to find out more about us. But I appreciate you, man, having me on.
Always. Do I see you in you come out to LA at all, or no, not really?
You know what? How about this? I actually haven't been out to LA in a while. I used to get out there all the time, but they got me playing in the All-Star Celebrity Game on Friday. So.
Well, that's in Utah. That's in Utah.
Yeah.
You're playing hoops on Friday?
Yeah, I'm trying not to hurt myself out there.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I know we've been talking quite a bit. No.
Jump on somebody.
Listen, you buried the lead, sir. Screw the Super Bowl. Hold on a second. What? You're playing Friday? What do you got for me? How's your game? What do we got?
Man, I'm a hustler, man. I'm gonna be getting boards. I'm gonna be trying to dunk. I'm just hoping my ankles hang in there.
Okay.
I'm just hoping my ankles and knees hang in there.
Okay. So, do you know who you're playing with? On which team? Who's your coach? You got anything on that?
Yeah, I'm on. I think Ryan. I forget Ryan's full name, but he's my coach.
Okay.
Dwayne Wade is the other coach. So. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna try to show them up.
Dwayne Wade is the other coach. Okay.
And how about that? I got DK Metcalf on the other team. So I'm probably the other player.
Are you
running around with his young ass?
Calvin, you're also playing with the Miz, Albert Pujols, Sinqua Walls.
Oh,
it's an interesting group, man. It'll be a good time for people I've always, I've, of course, wanted to meet, so it'd be cool.
You do know that once upon a time, Jim Schwartz, former Lions coach, then the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, walked up to DK Metcalf prior to a game and told him that he reminded him of you, and that set off DK to say, "No, I'm myself." Are you aware of that, Calvin? You remember that story?
That's funny. Yeah, I remember because DK hit me up after that, and I respect the heck out of the kid after that because he's like, "Man, I didn't mean any disrespect." I'm like, "Bro, that's what you're supposed to say. You want to be you. That's what you're supposed to do." So I told him there wasn't no disrespect.
Okay.
I didn't even know about it until everybody told me about it. But
okay,
that's what you're supposed to say.
No, but he reached out to you, so that doesn't mean you're not going to dunk on him on Friday if given the opportunity, right, Calvin? You're going to posterize him.
This is where you're going to see. I'm not even going to say anything. You're not going to get me caught up. I'm not going to. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to give them any fuel. I ain't trying to give none of them no fuel.
Okay.
I'm trying to tend to my ankles. Make sure I don't collapse.
Okay.
Make sure my body can keep up with my mind.
Double? What do we got? Come on.
Oh.
Come on. Double? You got a double?
Man, I'm gonna be tired as hell.
I'm trying to pump you up.
Different kind of shape, man.
I'm trying to pump you up. All right, last one for you.
All right. Wishful thinking. I hope so.
There you go. Last one for you then. Last one again. I know I've kept you longer, but who's the NBA All-Star you'd like to meet? You get a chance. Who do you want to meet?
Damn, that's tough. I met LeBron a long time ago, so I met LeBron. That's tough. Oof.
Right?
Who
do you got?
Damn.
Whose game do you love watching? Whose game do you love watching? You're like, okay, I see him. I'll get to say.
I never met KD though. I never met KD.
Okay.
I've always been a KD fan. I've never met him. So that would definitely be. I like Kawhi. Jeez.
Okay. So KD's a great one. By the way, he's a big Washington football fan. You didn't torch them, did you? Because he might not want to see you.
He Yeah, he saw that.
Have a great time, Calvin. Have a great time.
Have a good one, man.
We'll be looking out for it. Thanks for the call,
right,
Calvin Johnson. This is Calvin Johnson. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.